I'll untie you as soon as I can. Muffled noises reached his ears, and the bag over her head moved as she nodded. That was all he needed as he fired up the engine and took off. After a series of turns, he reached the edge of town and headed north toward the border. Eyes on the mirrors, he drove steadily. No one followed. At least not yet. He pulled his earpiece out, knowing he was out of range, and reached for the burner cell taped under the dash. Dialing the number, the call was picked up immediately.
All clear? They never knew who or what hit them.
Jesse nodded. That was good news.
Any casualties? And have you pissed at me for creating an international incident?
He laughed. The last thing Shadow cared about was diplomacy. No matter what country they happened to be in, he had his own brand of justice, but he followed orders and was a damned good friend.
Meet you at the extraction point.
Copy that. See you in 4 hours. The dirt road was pitted and bouncy, throwing them both around in the front seat, but his companion never made a noise. 10 minutes later, he pulled into the mouth of the ravine he'd scouted out the night before. It was wide enough to hide the truck and close enough to hoof it across the border in the dark. There were too many patrols on both sides to make it safe to cross while it was light out. He parked the truck and turned to the woman lying on her side on the bench seat. He helped her to a sitting position and then ripped off the burlap hood draped over her head. Jessie grinned into her shocked face.
Jesus, Lily, who'd you piss off this time?
Liliana Richardson glared into the face of her rescuer, a man she hadn't seen since she was 17 years old and practically left at the altar. Okay, that was dramatic, but senior prom was almost as important in a girl's life, especially in Texas. The duct tape over her mouth was the only thing preventing her from having an emotional outburst of epic proportions.
Promise you won't bite me if I take that tape off?
A snort was the only noise she could manage. Jesse's killer smile appeared as he reached up and ripped the tape off so fast that she gasped.
Holy mother frick! Did you leave any skin?
He had the nerve to glance at the tape.
Well, let's just say you won't have to have your upper lip waxed for a while. And my, such language.
I don't have my lip waxed, thank you very much. I didn't cuss, and can you please untie me? I lost feeling in my arm several hours ago.
Yes, ma'am.
The blood rushed back into her hands, causing that painful pins and needles sensation as she rubbed her battered wrists. Her ankles were in much the same condition, and being thrown over Jesse's broad shoulders hadn't been kind on her ribs. But none of that mattered as she threw herself at Jesse and tried to squeeze the stuffing right out of him. Whatever feelings she might or might not have for him, he'd saved her life today.
Thank God you found me. How did you find me? And please tell me that you shot at least 3 of them, in very painful places.
She pulled back a fraction, nose wrinkled.
And what is that stench?
The laugh rumbled up and vibrated from his body into her as he hugged her back as strong as she'd gripped him.
Good to see that not even being held hostage could depress you.
Lily pulled back and grinned.
Hey, I'm absolutely thrilled to not be dead. Or raped and dead.
I am too, he said as he took off the smelly poncho and hat. Lily took that moment to look around, more to bring some balance and distance from Jesse, who was even better looking than the last time she'd seen him, especially with his white t-shirt, sweat plastered to every muscle he had. They were in some kind of small canyon, and even in the shade, the heat was sweltering. Is there a platoon of Marines coming to get us? He shook his head.
You got kidnapped on Mexican soil, sugar. That means you get 2 retired Marines that like some occasional adventure and hazard pay.
When did you get out?
She really looked at him. His normally wavy blonde hair was a little longer than regulation, and the stubble on his face showed he hadn't shaved in several days.
I've been out a couple of years now. Decided working for myself was better than being shipped all over Hell's Half Acre for Uncle Sam.